If you wait for me, then I'll come for you. Although I've traveled far, I always hold a place for you in my heart. If you think of me, if you miss me once in a while, then I'll return to you. I'll return and fill that space in your heart. Remembering your touch, your kiss, your warm embrace, I'll find my way back to you if you'll be waiting. If you dream of me like I dream of you, in a place that's warm and dark, in a place where I can feel the beating of your heart. Remembering your touch, your kiss, your warm embrace, I'll find my way back to you if you'll be waiting. Oh, I've longed for you, and I have desired to see your face, your smile, to be with you wherever you are. Remembering your touch, your kiss, your warm embrace, I'll find my way back to you. Please say you'll be waiting. Together again, it would feel so good to be in your arms, where all my journeys end. If you can make a promise, if it's one that you can keep, I vow to come for you if you wait for me. And say you'll hold a place for me in your heart, a place for me in your heart, a place for me in your heart.
song, wasn't it? Good evening to everyone. Oh, okay. I guess you're wondering, saying, why is he? I'm a retired pastor, or one of the associate pastors at the Potter's House. So a little feedback, it would be good. Can you say amen to that? I'm also a husband. I am the husband of a fantastic lady named Beverly Robinson. Beverly, raise your hand, stand if you want. Let everybody see the fantastic. Well, she's not gonna stand. See, that's what I got to live with. Yes. Beverly happens to be the first EA in Dallas to carry Lady Jeannette's legacy on the Jeannette Castellano's Lifetime Achievement Award. Can you give her a hand? When she became a part of this great group, she would talk about it. It was Sonny this, Sonny said, can I do that? Sonny, Sonny, Sonny. So I was so glad I got to meet Sonny. And Beverly became a part of this great group. And this year, I'm so glad that when she came home, she brought a 65-inch TV with her. So, Sonny, when we lay in bed, we wake up in the morning, I think of you. Also, I would love to acknowledge and honor, I believe, June Weidman. Is she here? June, would you stand? Yes. Who is the first recipient of this award of Lady Jeannette's name and honor and the legacy, and what honor it is for you to also be a part of this group. Can we give her a hand? Today we are celebrating the Lady Jeannette Castellano's life and legacy with stories and memories from family and friends. But before we get started, I've been asked to give a brief prayer, and so may you bow your head. Also, they asked me to give a short message. So, you give the preacher a mic, and so time kind of flies, So. But bow your heads. Eternal and gracious God, we come before you today with hearts that are both grateful and grieving. We thank you for the gift of long and meaningful life, 97 years filled with love, wisdom, sacrifice, and faith. We thank you for this mother, this matriarch, whose presence shaped generations, whose prayers covered her family, and whose life leaves an imprint that time cannot erase. In this sacred moment, grant us your peace, Lord, that surpasses all understanding. Comfort those who mourn, strengthen those who feel weary, and remind us that while we memorialize Mother Jeannette, her spirit rests safely in your care. Let today be a time of remembrance, gratitude, and hope, celebrating a life well lived and trusting your promise of eternal life. We place this gathering in your hands and ask that all that is said and done be first glorifying to you, honoring you in Jesus' name. It was told to me, Sonny, that mother, that anyone that came in contact with her, you felt her love. She loved everyone. She was the one that had a vision and wanted to pass it on in helping others. To be an executive admin means that you are helping and serving, which is a great chore, which is a great job to have, and to touch those that are around. Also, was told that when she passed, on her desk was this verse. Says, and it was in Psalms chapter 46, says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still and know that I am God. Sometimes we are so busy and looks like we're trying to both run heaven and earth. We can get our hands into a lot of things, trying to correct things. Obviously, living in the time that we're living in today, everything seems to be chaotic. I can only look on the television when I wake up early in the morning after I pray. I can only take a little bit of the news, because if you look at a lot of news, it can be disturbing. But if you would allow me to just impart a little bit from that 46th chapter of Psalms, where that verse is, "Be still and know that I am God." The very first verse in that chapter says, "God is our refuge and strength." God is our refuge and strength, and a very present help in trouble. We have to know that no matter the circumstances and what we're facing, what we're listening to, no matter what we hear and feeling, our hearts grieving, to know that God is our safe place, our refuge, our comfort place, and a very present help in trouble. I grew up in church back in Virginia, and I used to quote this. It said, "He was a very present help in the time of trouble." But as I grew up and began to read, it says he was a very present help in trouble. You know how the Hebrew boys, God didn't show up until they were in the furnace. Sometimes we want God to come now, fix it now, give me a reason, but knowing that God will come right in the middle of the furnace. Also, their little brother, Daniel. God could have came and changed everything before Daniel got through in the lion's den, but he was in the lion's den. Next morning, the king came and said, oh, Daniel, where art thou?" He said, "Oh, king, I'm good." The lions, God came and shut the lion's mouth. What am I saying to you? That God, in the midst of pain and hurt, God will be right there in the midst. So which means that we have to be still now. Verse 10. "And know that God is with us." God is around us. We have to hold fast to his word and know that God will watch over you, be with you before trouble, after trouble, but also in trouble. In other words, be still means to chill. Look at your neighbor and say, just chill. Look at your neighbor and say, chill. Yes. God can handle it. God can watch over you. You don't have to worry. Philippians 4:7 says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything in prayer and supplication, make your requests made known to God. And the peace of God, which will pass all understanding, it will guard your hearts and your minds. Stop worrying. Stop fretting. Somebody asked, did you pull your hair out? No, it just grew out that way. But I've known times I worried beyond till I made myself sick. But I had to read what Lady Jeannette says, be still and know that I am God. In other words, what I said, just chill out. Just chill out. And it's very important to know that when we do that, God will be in the midst with us. So family, what am I saying to you? You can't change anything. You can't go back and undo anything. Nor try to restructure things that you feel that you're coming forward with. The future. And there's a song that I grew up with. I'm a little boy back then. They used to sing a song, the old lady used to sing, I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. I promise him that I'll and serve him till I die. I'm on the battlefield for the Lord. Can you say amen? I hope those little words will be beneficial and help you to know. If you don't remember anything else except for that verse, be still and know that I am God, to say, I got to chill. Can you say amen? I believe we're going to have words that will come from different family members. And now we're going to have, I believe, Sonny's daughter, much older sister. She's going to pay me for saying that, I think. Yes, to come up and have words.
Well, here we are. First, I'd like to thank all of you on behalf of my sisters, my baby sister, the little brat that she was, Sunny, and my sister Kelly, and my brother Kiri, who I know is watching on the live stream. Thank you all so much for coming today to spend this very special day of celebration, celebrating my mom's life. So if you'll humor me, I'm going to walk you through her life a little bit. And hopefully you'll have a chuckle along the way. Or if not, I'm just a really bad joke teller, which is probably the truth. So my mom, Jeannette Marie Pacenti, was born on February 8th, 1934. She was one of 9 children, the second to the youngest. Both her parents came to America from Italy. In fact, you can see her father's signature on Ellis Island as he came over on the boat, as we say. Sadly, her mother died, Mary Shiola, when Mom was just 16 years old, and her older sisters and brothers looked after her. She was closest to her sisters Dot and Renee, Aunt Dot and Aunt Renee, and her father, whose name was Ajeo, couldn't speak English, and my mom couldn't speak Italian, right? But she always told me how they could communicate just fine, right? Which I always found just absolutely fascinating. So Mom went on to Phillipsburg High School, where she went on to become a Peaburg High School cheerleader. Hence, the photo straight back. Now, if you were from Phillipsburg, you would understand that that was a big deal. And I know I'm here in Texas right now, but football in Phillipsburg was huge. So I'm proud to say that I went on to follow in her footsteps and carry on the tradition and became captain, making her so, so proud. But it didn't stop there, because the tradition went through another part of our family, where my cousin Cheryl, who's here in this room, went on to become a Phillipsburg High School cheerleader as well. And I have to tell you, I found the coolest thing when we were rooting through her apartment and sorting things a couple of weeks ago. It was a big deal in our town. This is a calendar, and in this calendar are photos of my mom as a cheerleader, photos of my cousin Cheryl as a cheerleader, and photos of me as a cheerleader. How cool, and what a legacy is that, right? Super proud. Go Liners. I had to, Ma. So Mom went on to be the first in her family to graduate high school. And soon after high school, she began working at my great Uncle Carl's business, which is where she started her career as a secretary and ultimately ended up as inspiration for the Admin Awards as a result of her impressive career working at MSC Easton and at Epsilon, where I know she made her most wonderful lifelong friends. She went on to marry my dad, who ironically passed away on this very day 13 years ago. And I'd also like to take a moment and wish my Aunt Dot a happy heavenly birthday. My mom's sister. Back to my story. The irony here is noteworthy, that we're celebrating Mom's life on the day that Dad passed. Because you see, yes, after 40 years of marriage, they divorced. And they really didn't care for each other much in the end. However, I have it on very good authority that they are very happy together on the other side. And they're listening to their favorite singer, Frank Sinatra, along with all of her brothers and sisters and family. But more about that later. So Dad was an ex-high school superstar football player who was an electrician by trade. They went on to have the 5 of us. My brother Rory, who has since passed, a loss no mother should ever have to suffer. My brother Kiri, and then me, Kelly, and later my little bratty sister Sunny. Just kidding. We grew up in a small row house on Hudson Street in Phillipsburg, where my favorite memories were family cookouts in the summers. You know, that's what we called them in New Jersey. They were cookouts, y'all. They weren't barbecues. They were cookouts. With Mom making ambrosia salad and my dad making, if I'm being honest, shoe leather overdone steak on the grill, and his famous antipasta salad, where he would literally have to ration out anchovies to each of us kids. Oh my God, were we not the literal epitome of a traditional Italian family? And I'm not gonna lie, I guess the stereotype is real because we definitely witnessed a few dishes being flung across the kitchen when those 100% Italian tempers kicked in. All Mom. Mom loved Christmas, and these were some of my best memories as a kid. She literally captured the magic of Christmas. Our house was always so beautifully decorated, and she would knock herself out every year trying to make the holiday perfect with baking tons of cookies and pies, and she made the best homemade pie crust in the world, by the way. And Aunt Marge's cookies and pasate will forever be our family's traditions. We actually wondered why Mom chose Christmas time to leave us. In fact, I think we were a little pissed for a minute, if I'm being honest. But I think she really wanted us to be sure that we carried on her love for the holidays and to feel the joy of what she gave to us all those years. Mom was the traditional stay-at-home housewife, as we called it back in those days, busy keeping an immaculate house and taking care of us 5 kids. Money was often scarce, with my dad not being able to work at some points with having some back surgery along the way. And I can remember as a kid how every Friday night she would literally dig for change so she could go to the corner store, Pipperatas, and buy us ice cream so we could watch the Brady Bunch and the Partridge Family. And if we were really good, we got to stay up for Love American Style. And I think that's why ice cream to this day is my ultimate favorite food in the world. But those are the little things that my mom did that just made our lives so special as kids. And our trips to Connecticut to see my Aunt Dot and Uncle Charlie were also filled with so many wonderful memories. And sometimes Aunt Renee and Uncle Carm would go up too and look out. Boy, was there a lot of fun to be had because our families had the best times together. We would literally stay up all night until the wee hours of the morning, all of us chattering away. They were the best childhood memories ever. So back to Mom. For a short while, she became a Mary Kay associate, which is where I got my love for makeup. Looking in her big pink suitcase filled with all those palettes of color and packaging was just irresistible to me as a young girl. And Mom was such a beautiful woman, and she could really turn some heads back in the day. In fact, not understanding at the time, but I remember as a kid, we were walking past a bunch of construction workers. I think you know where I'm going here. And I saw my mom with this weird smile on her face. And that memory always stayed with me as a kid, until years later, it hit me. They were checking out my mom. And she was loving every minute of it. You go, Mom. And let's face it, right up to her last days, she was so incredibly beautiful, even mystifying the doctors and nurses during all her hospital stays with not only how young she looked, but how also vibrant and youthful her spirit was. And by the way, she was still using anti-aging wrinkle cream right up to her last days. Mom was a fighter to the end, and we always joked that she had more lives than a cat, which is why her death came as such a shock. Mom would just bounce back until she didn't. But I digress for a moment. We all eventually grew up. My brother's off to the service, my sister and I to college, and then came the grandchildren. My mother had 12 grandchildren, and I think it's 11 great-grandchildren. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry, y'all. But she absolutely loved kids, and especially little babies. She had such a special gift with kids and always knew just what they needed and how to make them laugh and feel so, so loved. She was the best Nana in the world. And I know my daughters, Bryn and Lane, and her other grandkids feel and know that they were lucky to have the best Nana in the world, who was so much fun to hang out with. You know, my daughter Lane recently reminded me how one Christmas, when she and her sister were teenagers, this is important, they were teenagers, we were all making gingerbread cutouts, and there was Nana decorating them with X-rated body parts. We died laughing, but that was my mom. She was always so much fun in so many ways. And her great-grandson, and my grandson, Grayson, he's right over there, was just the apple of her eye. And I am quite certain that the love she had for him and the joy he gave her literally kept her going in her last challenging years. It's amazing what the power of love will do. And I'll venture to guess the reason why many of you are here today is not because you just knew my mom, but because of the love you had for my mom and the love she genuinely had for everyone in this room. Which brings me to my favorite quote from Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. And that was my mother. Mom had such a special gift. She truly loved and cared about her family and friends. She had this special way of making everyone feel genuinely loved and so, so special, even with her laughter. And it all came straight from her heart. And that's the most powerful love of all. In fact, Mom's love left an indelible mark in so many people, and her love was so powerful that it transcended even from the other side. You see, shortly after she passed, my mom was sending me messages and visions. As a psychic medium and healer, we would always talk about how we would still be able to communicate when she was on the other side. She loved the idea of this. And I know this was a huge reason why she wasn't afraid to die. She knew the truth, that our souls continue on, and our bodies are just vessels. So there she was, already reaching out to me, but my gifts are relatively new, and I wasn't expecting to hear from her so soon. And so I reached out to my mentor, who is an amazing psychic medium, to help me navigate the messages my mom was sending me. She connected with my mom and saw my parents together and happy at a big old family reunion in the sky with all my aunts and uncles, my brother, my nephew, my father. My mom told her to tell me that she would be sending me a very special and undeniable sign early on Christmas morning in the form of light. Could it be a flickering light? Or maybe even in the form of an orb. Now you see, my mom was obsessed with orbs, okay? My mentor had no idea. Let me just rephrase. My mom was obsessed with orbs after I actually saw one at my daughter Bryn's house last year. And she always asked me if I had ever seen another one. And I'm talking right up to a few weeks before she left us. She would always ask me, "Hun, have you seen an orb?" "No, Ma, not yet." I didn't know what to expect. As I woke up early on Christmas morning, would I maybe see a light flicker? Would I really maybe see an orb? Would I see anything? I made my coffee and decided to go outside and just look up at the sky. And there it was, undeniable, an orb, flashing the most vibrant, spectacular colors that I've ever seen. It wasn't a star, it wasn't a plane, it wasn't a satellite. It was an orb. There it was, my mom's love shining from the other side. I watched in awe, and not only did I see her love in those amazing colors, but I felt it too. The orb stayed with me for about 30 minutes, and then it slowly dissipated. I called my sister Sunny, bawling my eyes out, wishing she was with me to see this miraculous gift. I knew it would have meant so much to her. And then, on Christmas night, Sunny called me, and now she was bawling her eyes out. The orb, you see, was now over her house. Undeniable. This was the power of Mom's love. Truly miraculous. And a Christmas miracle, for sure. The orb actually stayed with me for several mornings, each time, again, for about 30 minutes. We were truly blessed to have witnessed this sign from God in the universe. Our souls are eternal, and our loved ones are right there on the other side, always with us, and always with us. They're here right now. And so I will leave all of you with this. Mom loved fiercely her family, her friends, her country, our planet. And she was incredibly passionate in that love, as some of you may know. One of my last favorite moments with her was about a month before she left us, when my husband Frank and I were visiting her. We brought her favorite pizza. We're chatting away. The conversations were always so fun and engaging, and she just loved how Frank would tease her, and make her laugh. At one point, she opened up her phone, and she shows me Facebook. Now, I'll mention here that my mom was tech savvy, even at 92. She could order her groceries online, and she was an absolute online shopaholic. It was truly one of her favorite pastimes. Now, while she would always forget to take her medicine, I can tell you right now, she knew every website and exactly what she had in all of her shopping carts, the sizes, the colors, the price, and the discount. And while she started to paint in her later years, I think she loved buying paint supplies more than actually painting. And she was a good painter. But again, I digress. So she shows me Facebook, and she asks me, "Hun, do you know how I can get out of Facebook jail?" And I said, "Mom, what did you say to get into Facebook jail?" And while I won't share the details here, let's just say we died laughing at the idea of the FBI showing up at her door only to find this little old lady, feisty as hell, threatening our national security. I love you, Mom. We'll talk soon. Thank you. And now it is my pleasure to invite her very best friend up here, Lucille Franklin, who has been with my mom through it all.
Of course. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Lucille. I am here today not only as Jeanette's best friend, but as a representative of our entire close-knit circle of friends. I am honored today to share a few words about a person who meant the world to all of us. Although we are gathered here in heavy hearts, grappling the immense loss of Jeannette, we are also celebrating the wonderful life that she led and the countless memories that we will have of her. Jeannette was the heart of our group. She had an uncanny ability to bring people together, make everyone feel special, make every moment an adventure, and fill a room with light and laughter. When I think back on our times with her, it was a montage of laughter, countless talks, shared memories, dreams, and unwavering support. I remember working with her. There was always a congregation around her desk, whether employees, vendors, checking in or out, she was holding court. I was always enamored with her ability to multitask, taking messages in shorthand, certainly a lost art, and still carry the conversations, route deliveries, catch up with latest gossip, and then relay the latest intel. She could do all that. There are so many memories that are not just mine, they belong to all of us. She was She was our biggest cheerleader, encourager, and the one that could set us straight when we needed it. And we all know she most certainly did that. Jeannette taught me so much about what it means to be a true friend. I think about the patience it must have taken for her to sit and listen to all of our stories, our dilemmas, and to counsel us with her wisdom when we needed it. In doing so, she taught us about resilience. Jeannette taught us the importance of showing up for each other and how to laugh at ourselves. Her kindness was comfort, her spirit was infectious, and her loyalty was a gift we will cherish forever. Though she is no longer with us today in body, her legacy lives on in each of us. We carry forward her spunk, her laughter, her compassion, adventurous spirit, and how we treat others and how we live our own lives. The bond we share as friends, forged by the love we all have for Jeannette, will never be broken. Jay, that's what I called her. She called me Elle. You were loved deeply by every single person here. We miss you more than words can say. We will honor your memory by continuing to live fully, love fiercely, throw our head back in laughter from time to time, and look out for each other, just as you always looked out for us. Rest easy, my dear friend. Winford. And next, I would like to introduce Winford Goodnight, also known as WAG.
Good evening, everyone. I bet you didn't know that Jeannette had a black son, huh? That's my mom. Miss her dearly. You know, I'm truly amazed every day of what God can do. I mean, look at this room. All of us are here together. It's because of her. We're all here. Jeannette, look at us. We're all in here together. So how do we say goodbye to yesterday? She was here yesterday, in a sense. But today, we're all here, amen? Jeannette, your family is here, and your Epsilon family. This is an Epsilon shirt. It's about 20 years old. But Epsilon family, just wave your hand. Don't stand. Look around. There's Epsilon in here. Whew. Epsilon. Man. Epsilon in the house, Jeannette. Oh, man. So I want to thank Epsilon, though. Epsilon just did so much for me. And I met Jeannette at Epsilon. And Epsilon was family. And Epsilon is now in the building here, too. And so I want to thank Epsilon for getting us to know each other. And a woman like Jeannette Castellano, no one was like her. Epsilon was family. We worked together and made a life for our families in that Epsilon space of time that we had. Many years ago, I didn't know Jeannette, but the character of that woman created an opportunity for all of us to have an encounter with one of God's angels. Seeing her face on your worst day changed everything because she would listen, not judging, but just like a therapist, she would encourage you to hold on without making a decision you would regret. Epsilon was worth going to work, knowing she'd be there. To give you that motherly feel, though she never acted like she possessed that aura. So how do we say goodbye to yesterday? Take today and use the memories, the lessons, and the love she left us during her time in all of our lives. She was truly more worth than silver or gold. She was my mom, and I miss her. I love her. We had a great relationship. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. This room is full, and it says so because of who she was. I'd like to bring up Kelly now. Thank you.
Well, I'm Kelly. I'm the middle child, and I did not get an orb. Not yet, at least. When my dad died 13 years ago today, a friend of mine sent me something, and it just sticks with me, and I send it to everybody I know who lost a loved one. When you are sorrowful, look again, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. My mother has been everybody's delight in this room. She touched every one of our lives. So first and foremost, I want to thank all of you for being here to honor her today. Not only has she been a mother to my siblings, she was also a friend to all of you, and to her nieces and nephews. She was an amazing aunt and a warm and loving nana to all of her grandchildren. And I hope she impacted your life in a way that you will always remember her beautiful smile and her fun, lively personality. I have a very, very vivid memory of my mom and me when I was a little kid. I was probably about 4 or 5 years old, and I wasn't old enough to be in school yet like my brothers and sister, and Sonny, you were probably even a figment of our parents' imagination at that point. I was still the baby of the family at that time. It was a beautiful northeast fall day, and the leaves changing colors and falling to the ground. Everything looked so peaceful and perfect. My mom piled me into the car, and off we went. And Cheryl and Terry, you know where we went? We went to Walters Park. Yeah. She wanted to roll around in the leaves and play. And we did that for hours. Why I don't remember that, I can't remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday, but I can remember that 55 years ago. She remembered it too, because when I was here in November thinking we were losing her then, I jumped on a plane within 2 hours of my sister making that phone call. And I got to spend a lot of time with her, and she asked me if I remembered it, because she remembered it also, and I was so surprised that she remembered it. That memory will forever be embedded in my heart and in my mind. Well, as you know, I love to shop, my mother loves to shop, and we would do some serious imaginary shopping and damage in TJ Maxx and Marshall's, which were our favorite stores to shop. Whenever we were bored, we needed something to do, that's where we would go. We'd walk in, throw all kinds of shit in our carts without a care for the price or whether we actually needed it or not, and we would just have a blast. And we were done, we'd look at each other and we'd say, "Are you ready to go?" And right out the door we'd go. We'd leave the cart full behind us. It was so much fun pretending we were the Rockefellers and money was no object. Then there were times that we actually did buy things. We'd get to the register. Something would ring up wrong, or the total wouldn't match what we thought it should be. And we convinced ourselves we were getting something for free and scoring an unbelievable deal. As soon as we made it out the doors, we would start yelling, "Start the car! Start the car!" If you know the IKEA commercial, that is where that is from. All while laughing our heads off, thinking we just pulled off the deal of the century that maybe we shouldn't have. At some point, she even drew this little picture of us shopping that my sister found going through all of her belongings of me holding a shopping bag, running out the door, and a car, and yelling, "Start the car." I don't know when she did that, but she did do that. Those were so much fun bumming days with Mom when she was able to walk around. We really had a good time doing that, and one of her favorite stores was a Dollar Tree. Okay. Now I want to turn my attention, to my amazing sister, Sunny. And my brother-in-law, Ben. Ben, I hope you can hear me. Sunny and Ben, what the two of you have endured I can't look at you because I'm just going to lose it. What you two have endured over the past few years was incredibly difficult. I know there were many challenges along the way, and I'm sure there were moments when you wanted to throw in the towel, especially since we all know how an Italian mother can be. Stubborn, strong-willed, and my mom had plenty of that. But the devotion that you guys showed her was truly immeasurable. If you know, caring for aging parents can be incredibly hard. While it hasn't always been smooth or simple, my sister Sunny, with Ben by her side, became the backbone of our mom's entire support system. For the last 20 years of their lives, 15 of those during the time their marriage, they dedicated themselves to caring for Mom and making sure she lived a good life. And when I say good, we mean a full life of vacations, new experiences, laughter, care, and dignity. My mom and Sunny were the best of friends. Sunny was my mom's baby, and that was okay. I'm glad my mom had my sister. When Mom would call Sunny in a health crisis, Sunny was always there, no hesitation, no matter what she was doing. She dropped everything to be there. Every appointment, every health concern, every detail of my mom's life, Sunny handled it all with love, patience, and strength. You have a heart of gold, Sunny, and see the good in everything. Everyone should have a Sunny in their life. Her heart is... Her heart is bigger than any heart I know, and Sunny, you are not only an amazing daughter, sister, and mother, and I am so incredibly proud of you. And Ben, brother Ben, when he came into our family, I'm sure this wasn't exactly what he signed up for, but if you know Ben, he showed up as a true patriarch. He supported Sunny. He supported Sonny 1,000%, and it wasn't always easy, but he never stopped, never wavered, and never gave up. I'm beyond grateful that my sister has such an incredible man by her side, supporting her through everything she's carried for the last few years for caring for our mom. Ben, thank you for loving, supporting, and standing strong with my sister every step of the way. So on behalf of the entire Castellano family, thank you for everything you've sacrificed in caring for our mom and for everything putting this incredibly beautiful farewell together for our mom. Sonny, I'm so damn proud of you. I know she is up in heaven with the rest of our family. She was the last one of all of her siblings from my mom's side and from my dad's side. So can you imagine the Italian homecoming she had? But I know she's looking down saying, that's my daughter, Sonny, and I'm so damn proud of her. So can I please have you all rise and give my sister a standing ovation for what that she has done. She had no idea I was doing this today. So now I would like to introduce my crazy cousin Cheryl to come up and say a few words. Because you are.
Well, for those of you who don't know me, I am Cheryl Lynn Marie Swanson. And take notice of the Marie now, because you got to remember the Marie part. Okay, it's very important. I want to thank you all, first of all, for being here today to honor the life and share the memories about the many ways that my Aunt Jeannette enhanced all of ours. I have so many wonderful memories, and I'm hearing this is becoming a theme, I think. It's good. So a lot of people have really bad memories. We all have good memories, so this is a good thing. I have so many wonderful memories as a small child, and a lot of them included Aunt Jeannette and Uncle Sonny. They lived, I want to say maybe 8 blocks in a small town, New Jersey. And in the wintertime, imagine the wintertime, the fresh fallen snow, just crisp. No one on the road because, of course, nobody wanted to drive. They parked their cars. My dad would bundle us up, and I must have been little bitty because he'd pull me on a sleigh, and Terry and Mom in their boots, and they'd be crunching in the snow. You could hear the boots crunching. Hear them? You hearing the boots crunching? Anyway, it was just one of those situations where we would go 8 blocks to Aunt Jeannette and Uncle Sonny's house. Unexpected now. I mean, we never expected. I mean, you're Italian. They had to have wanted you.
Was just a girl. If you knew her, you know exactly what I mean. I'll give you some examples. Nana was, without question, Shein's #1 customer. Boxes of clothes would arrive constantly. Multiple sizes, multiple colors, none of them correct. She treated the ordering part like a hobby, and the returning part like a personal challenge for her granddaughter, me. This system made perfect sense to her. Anytime Nana was in the hospital, she would call me. Not for snacks, not for a sweater, but to demand I come immediately with a bottle of nail polish. She would be lying there, hooked up to monitors, looking miserable until her nails were done, or she had a little makeup on. Every time, her vitals would miraculously improve. She found this very validating. And finally, there was a time we went out to dinner at our favorite Thai restaurant. We sat down, we're having a nice chit-chat, our food arrived, and then somebody at the table mentioned the city of Bangkok. Nana laughed so hard that she almost fell out of her chair. She tried to compose herself. She could not. And the harder she tried to stop laughing, the funnier Bangkok became. That was Nana, just a girl finding joy in the smallest, most unexpected things. In my own journey to get closer to the Lord, one truth keeps showing up for me again and again. That God is the ultimate girl dad. Throughout Scripture, he goes out of his way to honor, protect, and reveal himself to women. He made men climb literal mountains to approach his presence, but he always came down to where the women were. He trusted a woman with the message of the resurrection, the single most important news in history, and asked her to tell the world. He defended women when others rejected them. He met them where they were. He made them feel seen. The same God who created the heavens came close, not to impress, but to comfort, not to overpower, but to love. That's who he is, holy, present, full of love, and the OG girl dad. So today, I do not picture Nana with a distant God. I picture her meeting somebody who already knew her heart, her humor, her joy, and her spirit. Because in the end, Nana was just a girl, and now she's with the ultimate girl dad.
Thanks for introducing your mother. This has just been incredible. Thank you, Pastor Robinson, to my family, our friends, my cousin, and to all of you. Bob, it's an Epsilon reunion. You created that. She loved you.
I've heard.
I recently listened to a podcast that said when Plato was asked what his philosophy for life was, his answer was simple: preparing for death. I found that striking because about 3 years ago, I began therapy for that very reason, to prepare for death. My mother's. I wanted to get ahead of it. I wanted to learn in advance how to live without the person who had been part of everything for as long as I could remember. I wanted to walk this final chapter in a way that would lead me with no regrets. Because that final chapter was anything but easy, as my sister Kelly shared. Our mother did not go gentle into the night. She raged against the dying of the light, as that iconic poem reveals. To put it more bluntly, she went kicking and screaming. Being her daughter was one thing, being her caregiver was quite another, and being both at the same time is its own kind of heartbreak and devotion, and at times, complete insanity. Can I get an amen, babe? You're trying to hold on, you're trying to let go, you're trying to give someone the very best of their remaining life while also trying to imagine a world without the person who gave you yours. And that is the strange, suspended ache of anticipatory grief, which I didn't even know was a thing until a few years ago. It's loving somebody with one foot in the present, one foot in the future. It's mourning what's still here in ordinary moments that suddenly feel numbered. It's learning to miss someone before they're gone, and then when they are, the moment you've tried to prepare yourself for is finally here, and you discover that grief changes its shape. It no longer asks you to imagine the absence, it asks you to live in it. And in that absence, memory becomes the place we meet them again. It's painful, it's beautiful, and it's the way we gather their life, their love, their essence, and carry them forward inside of us. Our mother was so many things at once, as my sister so beautifully revealed. She was loving kindness, the kind you could feel the moment you walked into a room, the kind that made people feel claimed, protected, and seen. And if you were her kid or grandkid, she loved you with a fierceness that bordered on holy and at times frightening. She was love, but she was also fire. She burned deep with intolerance for disloyalty, injustice, cruelty, and small-mindedness. She did not suffer indifference or fools, and she did not make peace with what in her mind was just wrong. My mom had a deep respect for rules, but an even deeper confidence in knowing which ones were optional. I loved her irreverence. She was courageous, truly brave, as my sister shared. She left a 41-year marriage, moved from New Jersey to Texas, which in the 2000s, nobody was doing that. Starting over at 63, like it was just another item on her to-do list on a Tuesday, written in shorthand, of course, as all her secrets were. She was also, though, afraid of the most improbable things. Truly, the woman who rebuilt her life from scratch at 63 was convinced that a burglar would one day scale the second floor of her apartment using a ladder and climbing gear just to break in. For what? We don't know. She was sharp, observant, fully present, uncompromising. In fact, she broke her Lifetime Achievement Award climbing on a 5-step ladder that she hid in her closet that she bought at 90 to fix a wreath with. She was loyal beyond reason to a fault. If you came to her with a disaster you had unmistakably and spectacularly created yourself, she wouldn't shame you. She'd just say something like, I mean, mistakes were made by a lot of people, but you are not among them, especially if you were one of her sons. And she was funny. She was so funny. I think that's what I'll miss the most about her, right? Cousin Cheryl and Charlene and Shelley. That 12-year-old boy's sense of humor. But this just scratches the surface of her. And as I thought about what I could possibly say today that might help you really know her, understand her, and feel close to her, I realized that words can only take us so far. No story, no description, no list of qualities could quite capture her essence. So instead, I created something I'd like to share with you. A love letter to my mother, to our Nana, to our aunt, to our friend, Jeannette Marie Pacenti Castellano.
Rows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. Looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and they snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds. At all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way that you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. And you leave them laughing when you go. And if you can, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides.
Oh, for God's sakes. What are you doing? Oh my God, I did nothing but laugh in this hospital.
Good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I said, we're celebrating my death.
I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. And I seem to find the happiness I see when we're out together, dance cheek to cheek. Yes, heaven.
That's what 81 looks like.
I'm in heaven.
This is what 89 looks like.
The cares that hung around me through the week seems to vanish like a gambler's like
There's
this.
no way you're 86
Yeah.
When we
How about
out
87?
together,
in a couple months.
dancing cheek to cheek.
Happy Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
So, Mom, we have a surprise for you.
87
and you got your
reached
first
the
bite.
highest peak, but it doesn't thrill me half as much as dancing cheek to cheek.
What'd you just ask?
What's a happy ending?
I know. What is she doing?
She
just Googled what a happy ending is.
Dancing cheek to cheek. Now, mama, dance with me.
Oh my God.
I want my arms.
Yeah, that's it. Mom, eat
One of those.
One.
You didn't like it? How come?
Yes, heaven.
That's
I'm
good
in
chocolate cake.
heaven. And my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. And I seem to find the happiness I see.
Hey guys, we're in Nana's room. We're in Nana's room.
What'd you say?
Out together, dance cheek to cheek. Take it, Ella, swing it.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness I see when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. Heaven, I'm in heaven.
So that's from Lucille. Lucille called ahead to buy you dessert. I'm gonna send her this video.
Thank you.
No, Gustav
You
did.
see, I lost my penis.
What
I
happened
had
to
it in
it?
the wrong way. It goes in like this.
She had to put it up to the
Do you
sky.
see?
That's why it well, look at it. It was
She had to point it up to the sky. You surprised you didn't pee on your face.
Oh my God!
And when he did that, she smacked him with the frying pan.
You guys cannot laugh.
Okay. Do not laugh. But it was hard. It was hard growing up.
You love me? I love you.
What the hell are you doing? You're sprinting. You're going faster than me.
Hi, kids. I just went for a walk, and I feel like shit. And the people, for the most part, are grand.
The nurses and the doctors
Oh,
and the
God, the
techs.
nurses. There's just a couple of young snobs who are so full of themselves. They've chosen a profession that is very, very, I think, a very honorable profession. And I envy them. I wish I had had the guts to do.
You were an admin. That's way better than being a nurse.
I thought I was dreaming of that work. Yes. What can I do for you?
talk to me about politics?
No, I'm not going to talk to you about politics.
Why not?
Because there's nothing to talk about. It's all in good hands.
You think, is he really going down?
Yep. Okay, 3 tablespoons of olive oil.
Right. What kind of clam sauce?
The Progresso clam sauce,
Okay.
the can, regular
got you.
can.
No, it's Sunny.
Oh my God.
What are you doing?
Oh my God.
What, Mom?
Sunny.
Huh?
Sunny.
Yeah? What's she, honey, what's she doing in there?
Oh my God, I was just in Kenya. I don't know how to get out of here. Go ahead, you recording now?
No, so what are you going to tell me?
Okay. At Sam's, I got a 170-ounce bottle of Downy fabric softener, okay, for less than $10. At Albertsons, for probably 48 ounces, 36 ounces, you pay like maybe $5, $6, $7. You know how much of a savings that is to go to Sam's? Well, you figure it out. That movie.
Yeah.
Mamma Mia, remember when she was standing out on the rocks all alone?
Oh, yeah,
These
singing.
rocks jutted out into the sea, and she's singing. Oh my God, I was mesmerized. I couldn't believe it. And the song was beautiful that she sang too.
So you're worried about someone coming here in a truck with a ladder, getting through the gate, and then parking and bringing the ladder around the back to break in a second floor apartment.
Well, what if they come through that way?
What if they do? Carrying a ladder.
Well, they could push the ladder over the fence.
And then what do they get when they get into your apartment?
Well, that's what I said. I have to figure out what it is they would want.
Has there...
Yeah,
What do you do at 3 o'clock? 3 o'clock, I go put my door jams up, put my chair against the door jam, and I'm in for the night.
What do you do with the door jam?
Well, the door jam, then comes the chair.
She has
Are
that.
you doing the door jam up in the jam? Underneath the door handle. The door handle.
When she was in school, you know, people around her neighborhood would tell us about her. She slept with the captain of the football team, the soccer team, baseball team.
You forgot the wrestling team.
And the wrestling team.
That with salt in the water.
Hospitals, heart hospitals. That's
But
who cooks
why
pasta
everybody
without
hates her.
salt in the water.
That's why everybody hates her shitting food.
Heaven,
Oh my God.
I'm in heaven.
I
My heart beats so
didn't know it until I had it on. Until I had it on, I couldn't.
Show me what you did.
Oh my God, this is what I did.
Look like the guy from Star Trek.
Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Unreal. That is awful. That's scary.
I'm sending it into America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh my God.
Let me see.
seems to vanish like go gambler.
I don't even know who that is. Sonny, I am gonna
Facebook Live. Say hi to Facebook Nation.
Sonny, shut the door.
Facebook Nation.
Oh, I'd love to climb
Don't you dare.
Say hi to everybody. It's on right now. Say hi to everybody.
Will you shut the door?
Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, Lisa Mixon.
Dancing cheek to cheek.
Where are you going?
I'm going out to get some fresh air.
We don't offer smoke breaks at the Admin Awards.
I don't know what to tell you. Gave Tom my pack of cigarettes with 5 cigarettes in it and a lighter, brand new lighter that I just bought. And I said, here, Tom, when I come back, I'll be done because I won't be smoking while I'm up.
What did you say about Chrissy's necklace?
Yes, heaven.
I'm not saying it.
Say it.
No, I'm not saying it, so there.
I don't trust those bastards.
I didn't say that word.
Yeah, you did.
You're lying.
You said her necklace was hurting her neck because China's trying to kill us. Just like the toothpaste.
They're putting poison in them.
In what?
In all the shit that we import from these countries. What's your good bull doing out here? Angels are often disguised as granddaughters.
Aww.
You should watch Ted Lasso. You'll like him.
Ted Lasso, I don't like him.
Don't like him? You seen the show?
No, I just don't like the actor.
You'd like Trying. On the right hand side there, Trying.
That's about sex.
The what?
The TV show Trying. You'd like that.
It's about sex.
It's a British comedy.
You're sick.
But they
I just voted. And to all of you young kids out there who think it isn't important to vote and that maybe your vote just isn't going to count anyway, let me tell you, that's how I used to feel when I was young, raising my kids until the day came and I realized there is nothing more important than your vote. And had I felt differently maybe when I was younger, just maybe, we wouldn't have this president that we have today.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Happy birthday to you. But I don't enjoy it. You made it. I'm gonna live another 90 years.
Now that's the kind of old lady-ish I like.
Do you love it?
Love it.
You look beautiful, Mom. That is stunning.
Can I wear high heels with it?
Well, you can wear whatever you want. You could also wear gold ballet flats and it'd be beautiful. I don't think it, I mean, we're all seem to be on the same page.
Right. You don't want me to suffer.
We just don't want you to suffer, and I
Right.
think we all know you well enough to know what you would want should the moment come. But I get the sense that a month is like way too long to try to keep you going. So
If I was younger, I'd say, sure, as long as you feel as, you want me to. If I was younger, there would be no issue here. But since I'm 90 years old, I've had a good, long life, and, enough is enough. Okay?
all right, wheel her down to the morgue now.
We'll step out.
I'm ready.
Yeah. All right.
I'm done.
There she was. Whew. Okay. we're pretty much done. So, I'm missing a piece of paper. Well, it's okay. Thank you for being here. I want to thank Rudy, who is our board member to Dallas Parks and Recs for making today possible in so many ways, and to Pam Gerber, because all good things come from Pam Gerber, and to her wife, Suzanne Slonim, Dr. Slonim, who helped us navigate what at times were just unimaginably complicated medical situations, and for giving us peace of mind that at every step we were taking the next right one. So our mother was cremated, so there will be no traditional grave site, but I'm tickled to share that she will have a place, a quiet, beautiful spot along White Rock Lake, just down the hill on the water's edge, where a bench has been placed in her name. You'll actually be able to see it from up here. Look for the balloons. It's a place we hope you'll visit, a place to sit, to breathe, to remember Mom, Nana, our aunt, our friend, to talk to her, to feel close to her. I want to thank our remarkable community of executive assistants here with us, many admin awards winners who traveled from near and far to show up for our family, for our mother. Thank you. And to everyone watching us live right now, you're the living continuation of the work she inspired. Your presence today means more than you know. And to everyone in this room, on the live stream, our friends and family, on behalf of our family, thank you for sharing this day with us, for honoring our mom, and for surrounding us with our love. It truly means the world. So if you'll join us, I know it's cold, but we want to do a final closing prayer. And if you look down the hill, you'll see balloons, and you'll see the bench that the Department of Parks and Recs installed in like speedy time from what I understand, so that we could see where Mom is gonna meet us. No, I love you all, and you have gotten us through so much, and I thank you for being here. And after we go out and Pastor Robinson does the closing prayer, we're gonna come back in and eat some of our favorite Italian food and drink great wine, compliments of Hall. Thank you, Barb, Hall Wines. We love you, because the person that brings the wine is everybody's favorite. So grab your coats, we'll go out. The sun is setting, it is spectacular out there, and we'll say goodbye to Mom. Thank you.
The balloons were there, but right down there. I'm passing them out right now. Yeah. The balloons are gone. It's like if you need those balloons, you can have them. Here they are. Oh, they were there. What's crazy is that pad was. We tried to get her a bench up here, but Rudy said, "You won't believe this. There's an empty pad down on the water's edge," and he said, "I think we can get a bench installed there before the 17th. So, Rudy, where are you, Rudy? Is Rudy? This is Dallas Parks and Recreations, our board liaison. Thank you. This would not have been possible without Rudy and without Pam. Where is Pam? Pam is inside keeping warm, but there's the bench. Pastor Robinson, I'll have you do closing prayer. We'll go in and eat and drink and be merry.
Okay.